This book is about the relationship between carpets and power. That relationship has a discrepancy at its heart, that an ancient technology practiced by the humblest of peoples should produce some of the world's greatest symbols of authority and control. The story of carpets is the story of transformations, of simple practices turned into great art, of domestic objects changed into the apparatus of politics, wealth, and religion. The rugs in this book show how these textiles came into being and then were reinvented as they moved into the slipstream of powerful warriors, colonists, missionaries, intellectuals, merchants, and industrialists. Along the way we find tricksters, fraudsters, and conspiracists. From the 5th century BCE contents of the tombs of Scythian chieftains to the carpets under the boots of Stalin, Roosevelt, and Churchill at the 1945 Yalta Peace Conference, they uncover a different version of the past. Carpets are travellers in time and space. The spotlight in these chapters falls repeatedly on 3 zones and 3 time periods of intense significance for the relationship between carpets and power. The geographies are the territories along the Silk Roads that facilitated the movement of goods and ideas across Asia, the West, Central and South Asian regions where the world's great carpets were made, and a global North which has had a fascinated hunger for them. The book also visits the places in which these carpets have come to rest in our own time, the imperial grandeur of the V&A and Berlin's Pergamon museums, the opulence of the Getty Museum, the reflective atmosphere of temples in Japan and churches in Romania. The first of the book's 3 time periods is the continent-changing movement west of nomadic tribespeople out of the Petri dish of Central Asia from around 500 BCE. They brought a transformation of the way of life in much of Eurasia, along with the carpet-weaving practice that was central to nomadic cultures and beliefs. The second is the Eurasia-wide resurgence of the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries, and the explosion into Eurasian consciousness and geopolitics of a new art form, the courtly carpets of Anatolia, Iran, and Mughal India. The third period is what historian Eric Hobsbawm called the Age of Empire, the peak of Western colonialism in the 19th and 20th centuries, when Asian carpets were used as propaganda for diverse holders of power in dramatic acts of cultural appropriation. This book is not a geography-by-geography narrative or a traditional chronological history. Instead, the story repeatedly returns to these different geographies and periods as it explores moments of significance for the relationship between individual carpets and power.